You never ask for help, not because you don't need it, but because somewhere deep inside, something tells you that needing help is dangerous. So you carry everything, alone, quietly, and you call it strength. But what if I told you that's not strength? That's a wound that learned to look like one. Stay with me, because what we're about to unpack might be the most important thing you hear this year. Let's paint a picture. You're the person people describe as so independent, so capable, so put together. You solve your own problems before anyone even notices there's a problem. You show up for everyone. But when someone asks if you need anything, you smile and say, "I'm fine, I've got it." And you mean it. You genuinely believe you're fine. But then, something small happens. A hard week. A moment where everything feels like too much. And instead of reaching out, you go quiet. You pull inward. You disappear into yourself and handle it, alone, again. People around you don't even realize you're struggling, because you never show it. And the loneliness of that, of being surrounded by people but completely unseen, is a specific kind of pain that's very hard to describe. Does this feel familiar? If it does, keep watching. Because this is not a character flaw. This is a pattern, and it has a beginning. Here's what most people don't know. Hyper self-sufficiency, the compulsive need to handle everything alone, is not a personality trait you were born with. It is a coping mechanism, one you built in childhood, to survive. Think about it. When you were young, what happened when you needed something? When you were scared or sad or confused, and you reached out? For some people, the answer is simple. Someone came, someone held them, listened, helped. And their nervous system learned it is safe to need people. But for others, and maybe for you, the answer was different. Maybe no one came. Maybe you were told to stop crying and be strong. Maybe the adults around you were too overwhelmed, too absent, or too unpredictable for you to rely on. Maybe asking for help led to disappointment, or anger, or being made to feel like a burden. So your brain, brilliant, adaptive, survival-oriented, made a decision. If needing people leads to pain, then I will stop needing people. And it worked. As a child, that decision protected you. It gave you control in an environment where you had very little. You became self-reliant because you had to, because depending on others felt genuinely unsafe. The problem is, you never got the memo that you grew up. That coping mechanism followed you into adulthood, into your friendships, into the way you work, the way you grieve, the way you love. And now it runs in the background, invisible, shaping everything. You don't ask for help at work, even when you're drowning, because asking feels like admitting weakness. You don't tell your partner when something hurts, because part of you still doesn't trust that they'll actually be there. You don't lean on your friends, because somewhere in your nervous system, leaning on people still feels like a risk you can't afford. And so you stay strong. You stay closed. You stay alone, even in rooms full of people who love you. And here's the painful irony. The very thing you built to protect yourself from loneliness is now the thing keeping you lonely. Let's talk about what this actually looks like in real life. Because toxic self-sufficiency doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's very quiet. It looks like apologizing for having emotions. It looks like saying, "Don't worry about me," as a reflex, before you've even checked if you actually want support. It looks like feeling deeply uncomfortable when someone tries to take care of you. Like you don't deserve it. Like it makes you weak. Like you owe them something now. It looks like doing everything for everyone else. Cooking, planning, fixing, supporting. But freezing when someone tries to do something for you. It looks like a strange internal panic when you have to depend on someone, even for something small. And it looks like this quiet, persistent belief that if you ever truly let someone in, they will eventually leave. So better to never let them fully in at all. This is not independence. This is armor. And armor, no matter how beautifully crafted, is exhausting to wear every single day of your life. Now, here's the part that might surprise you. Most people with this pattern are incredibly empathetic. They're the ones who notice when others are struggling. They're the first to offer help, to show up, to listen. But they cannot receive what they so freely give. And that imbalance, giving endlessly, receiving nothing, creates a slow, quiet depletion. You pour from your cup into everyone else's, and no one ever pours back into yours. Not because they don't want to, but because you never hold your cup out. Over time, this leads to exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, to resentment that you can't explain, to a deep, aching feeling that you are fundamentally alone in this world. And the saddest part? People around you have no idea. Because you're so good at looking fine. So, what do you do with all of this? The first step is simply this: recognize it. Not with shame, not with judgment, with compassion. You built this for a reason. It kept you safe when safety was hard to find. That younger version of you was doing the only thing they knew how to do. And that deserves acknowledgement, not criticism. But you are not that child anymore. And the world you're living in now, it is not the same world that taught you that needing people was dangerous. The people in your life today are not the people who let you down back then. And you are allowed to find that out, slowly, carefully, in your own time. Start small. Let someone help you with something minor. Notice the discomfort, and stay with it anyway. Let a friend bring you food when you're sick. Let your partner carry something you've been carrying alone. Ask one question you'd normally Google silently at midnight by yourself. It will feel strange. It might even feel wrong at first. But every time you let someone in, just a little, you are sending a new message to your nervous system. It is safe now. I am allowed to need people. I do not have to do this alone. Healing from toxic self-sufficiency is not about becoming dependent. It is not about weakness. It is not about falling apart. It is about finally letting yourself be human. It is about building the kind of connections where you are not just the strong one, the reliable one, the one who never needs anything, but a full, real, complex person who sometimes struggles, who sometimes needs a hand, who is worthy of being held, not just of holding others. You spent so long being strong for everyone. Maybe it's time to let someone be strong for you. You don't have to carry all of it. You never did.